why. So why would you want to share Juice Plus with medical professionals or doctors? Let's throw out some reasons, you guys. Why would you want to share that? Or what makes you feel comfortable sharing that even?
Because they want to help other people too.
Okay.
Yeah, you could reach a lot more people through them because they already have a built-in customer base. So then that many more people can be blessed, really.
Okay, what else?
A lot of
I
times
feel
they're too
comfortable
busy.
talking.
Oh, a lot of times they're too busy to really help people with prevention. And so if they're able to partner with us, then that allows them to give a better service to their patients in a way that they do not have time for.
Okay, what else?
I was going to say, I would feel comfortable talking with them about it, like even bringing it up because of the amount of clinical research that's backing Juice Plus.
Love it. What else?
They could themselves be experiencing burnout, and it could be something else that's interesting for them to start with before recommending to their clients.
Okay, great. So it's absolutely important. And so what do you think is the most impressive for the doctors? The research was already named. Anything else?
How simple it is to take.
Yeah, that's true. What else?
For me, it was they weren't helping me with my allergies. Allergy medicine, cortisone, nothing was working. And so when my doctor saw that I wasn't needing allergy medicine or inhalers and all of that before any longer, I was telling her, I said, why don't you offer this to people that were suffering like me? And over 5 years, you couldn't help me get better. So I think that's a good point.
Yes.
I think doctors are looking for something other than prescribing medication. I think that they're beginning to realize that that's not the way to go. So
Times are changing.
It's affordable. Believe it or not, it's way more affordable than drugs are. Way more. MS drugs are like $150 a day.
Even if you have insurance?
Yeah.
Wow. How many drugs for MS?
I take none.
None. But how many before, or how many do other people take?
I don't know. Some are on multiple. Some get infusions where they go in for, like 8 hours and they sit there with a drip, and they do that a couple times a year, like a chemotherapy thing. That's like $10,000 a visit. It's very expensive, Jennifer, it's very
and it's quality of life. Quality of life too. I know this one lady who she had to go get iron infusions all the time.
Yep.
When she got the call that she didn't have to go, oh, she was in heaven.
Yeah.
She was so happy.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Great. So I like to picture it as we used to have this doctor, her name was Dr. Rudnicki, and she would have this little bag she'd bring with her in the pediatrician's office. So if you just picture them all carrying their little bag with the stethoscope and everything, they have a certain amount of tools, right? In their toolbox or their little bag or doctor's box, right? Bag, whatever. And anyway, this is just another tool for them. So if you approach them as this is another tool, like same thing with like athletic trainers, they have certain tools, right? But if you can complement the tools they already have, we're not taking away from what they already do, which is amazing, but to add to the tools that they can offer to their patients, they do appreciate it. Whether they're gastric bypass patient doctors, I've had them recommend Juice Plus because they're really they're amazed that you could get fruits and vegetables, without any calories, and so simply, like Michelle said. There's pediatricians who love to recommend Juice Plus because they see the research. They see in the Journal of Pediatrics, the Juice Plus is listed there with the Nemours study and things like that. So they do love it, but it's the long game. You can't look at Juice Plus as a short sale, like, oh, there's a turquoise ring or a diamond ring or a whatever emerald ring. I think I'll choose the emerald. You know, it's not like that. It's not that simple for everybody, right? To just choose. But it really depends on where they're at on their path too, to offering other solutions than what they have in their bag, right? And being frustrated, like somebody mentioned, you know, what is their level of frustration already with the medical system? You know, what is their interest in nutrition? So it's good to kind of get a feel for the doctor that you're going to, right? So can we hear a little bit about that? Let's hear about doctors and the various types who might be interested and who might not.
Therapist. My therapist actually became a partner because she saw that it was helping from a mental health perspective for her.
Okay, great. That's good. And it takes probably a lot of people reading journals and articles about how food or nutrition and water and all these different nutrients help, you know, with stabilizing hormones, the mental health aspect, all that stuff. That's great. What else? Who else?
Natural medicine doctors,
I'm
like
sorry.
naturopath, like Dr. Lalani. Naturopath.
Oh,
you know,
naturopathic doctors. Yeah.
and
And
chiropractor.
she did get it right away. She was at a networking meeting and heard about it. And, you know, it was simple to her because she's already on that continuum. She's on that side of the continuum of wellness, right? So you have to kind of know where the doctor might be. Okay, who else? What other types of doctors might be interested in hearing or might be open to hearing about Juice Plus?
I talked to my dentist about it, and he was really surprised. I think a lot of them have heard of the word, but don't really understand that they have science behind them. So he was very impressed with it. He hasn't moved any steps farther, but it does take a series of educational exposures. So I get it, and I know how cautious they are. But yeah, I even brought a capsule and a water bottle, and I just tossed it in there because I wanted him to see how bioavailable it was right in front of him. And by the time we finished in 15, 20 minutes, like it, of course, it turned the water bottle pink, you know, from the fruit and veggie concentrate or fruit concentrates. So that was kind of cool. He actually kind of looked at that like he was kind of impressed by that too.
So what did you do? You got a water bottle, you brought it into the dentist office?
I had a half empty water bottle, and I'm a very visual person, and so I said I'm just going to do this. I just want to show you how easily bioavailable this is. We have obviously science, you know, showing this, but this is just an easy thing for you to see how quickly this gets absorbed in your body. And so I just tossed it in this half empty water bottle so he could see it dissolve, like right as I was showing him the little video clips and the research and stuff. So
Okay,
Did you
so
open the
have-
capsule or did you just drop the
Nope.
the whole thing in
I
there?
just dropped it right in there. Yeah.
And how long did it take?
Like, I think about 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody
And I-
want to do it while we're on? Who wants to do it?
I can see if
How
I can.
how does that
Jennifer's
prove that it's
laughing at me.
bioavailable?
Pardon me?
I'll
do
go
it.
find one.
How does that prove that it's bioavailable?
I like the way she said, this shows you bioavailability, but there's actual research showing bioavailability.
Right.
I think the research is really what actually shows
Right.
you bioavailability. She's
just-
showing that it's easily absorbed, I think.
What it shows is that it dissolves in water, and our cells are mostly water. And so it's a simple, like, visual representation of what's happening on the inside of our bodies, basically.
Yeah. Because so many people say vitamins, which Juice Plus is not, you know, are so synthetic that they go straight through you. Well, clearly this doesn't. So it's like, so anyhow, do you want me to go get a water bottle and throw one in there,
Yeah,
Sharon?
let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
I have one already. You don't have to go. I have a glass right here. Give me a minute.
Sweet. Awesome.
Nalani, so since Nalani's on here, she is doctor of naturopathic and hygiene. I'm saying it wrong, I know. She can
Hygienic
correct me.
science.
What is it?
Hygienic science.
Thank you. please tell us what made you open and interested in Juice Plus, just to add to this conversation.
When I first heard the lady say that she was going to talk about fruits and vegetables in a capsule, I was disrespectful, actually. My eyes rolled up in my head and I said, oh, here we go, another product. And then by the time she finished talking, I said, when she sat down next to me, I said, I'm interested in this and I want to become a partner. That's exactly
Boy,
how
that changed.
it changed, because my antennas went up and I was listening for all the things that I would disagree with. And the antennas couldn't find anything. It was raw, it was real, it was live, it was whole food. It was, not genetically modified. It was all of the right things, and that already sat with me. So obvious, the next thing is to become a partner and to get some of this Juice Plus. Especially since I heard about the research, that really did it. And as a cancer survivor, when that the proof that it protects your DNA, that was just over the moon, so definitely.
Awesome. Thank you, Nalani. Okay, so we talked about why the doctors might want to know about it, who might be attracted, right? So what would we bring? Let's talk about what we would bring or say to the doctors, right? And then we'll talk about the program we have and things like that, and scenarios that we have of doctors who are sharing. But what would you bring? Actually, so Janie just did this at the doctor's office. I don't know where Janie went. There you are. Like your square moved on me. Okay. So, Janie, what did you bring besides your bottle of water and your
Sorry. By the way,
okay.
By the way, I'm putting it in thing. I'm going to drop it right in
whole. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see Janie's experiment here. 12:32.
All right. So
did you shake it?
What was that?
Did you shake the bottle?
I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I think I just dropped it in there and let it dissolve, if I remember right. So, but yeah, it was a few months ago that I met with him. And so I had beforehand printed off a copy of the dental health study. I had my hard copy, but we can't get them anymore. So I don't want to give that away. So I did print one off of my website. And I know Julie Herbst always talked about the research summary. So I did print off one of those to give him, just to show him the bigger picture of all the research that has been done on Juice Plus. It's way more than the dental health study. And then I showed him just on my phone. Maybe somebody has a better idea, but I had gone through a bunch of videos, and I wish I could remember which ones I picked to show him. I'm pretty sure my favorite one is Jumpstart to Better Health. So I showed him that just so he could see in a snippet all the Juice Plus products and learn about the company that way. But then I found, I don't know if it was through Wendy Campbell's website or what, but there was one video on the dental health study. And I might have also showed him one on inflammation, like those short little ones that we get from Dr. Manford. I think I might have shown him the inflammation too. It was just about, I only had like 15 or 20 minutes, so it wasn't like a lot of time. And I just thought the videos explain things a lot better than I could. So that's just kind of the route that I went. I told him a little bit and I said, but I think these would, be a good use of your time, because he didn't have a lot of time. So that's what I did. And then I gave him some samples. And explained it to him and showed him how Juice Plus, how kids could get Juice Plus for free. So I did that. And
I can't believe you had that much time with him.
Did you ask?
Yeah. Did you ask?
Yeah, I was in for a cleaning, and then because he took over for his father-in-law. His father-in-law just retired, and so he's a younger dentist. And so I just kind of was in for a cleaning, and I said I would love to help you learn more about Juice Plus. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and would you have some time, like over lunch or something? And so I did come in over his lunch, but he really didn't get a chance to eat unless he ate prior. I don't know. But, so yeah, I only had a short amount of time with him.
You
but
could give him the
it was good.
bottle with the capsule, and that would at least, give him some
I
nutrients.
think I did also bring a capsule bottle so I could show him like NSF certified and a food label, because I just wanted to show him like there's three big things that separate us from everybody else, right? The research, the NSF, and that we have a food label. So those are the most important things in my opinion. And so I'm pretty sure I did bring a bottle with just like a couple capsules in it. And I know Jan Saran, an NMD up in the Chicago area. She is a cancer survivor also. Like Nailani was saying she was. And she couldn't get over at first. She didn't want to look at it because it was in a capsule. That was like a big turnoff to her. And her husband, the doctor, was all on board. He got it. But it took her a while to like want to try it. And then when someone opened up the capsules and showed her all the powdered produce inside, that just clicked it. She got it then. And so that's what she does every single time that she does any kind of presentation. She actually opens up the capsule so people can see the powder inside, because she wants them to truly get that it truly is powdered produce and not, just a capsule of some kind that might not be absorbed. So anyhow.
That's great. I think you might have a couple people who wanted to comment or ask a question. Anybody? I thought somebody unmuted.
I was going to just add to that don't forget that you are also the best kind of exposure that you have out there. So if you are living the mission and you are going to the dentist twice a year and you're getting your teeth cleaned and your teeth are getting better and better, your blood work is really good. When you, like for us females, as we go to the gynecologist, like I get a lot of comments from my doctors and my dentists because I am just heads and tails above a lot of their patients because I live the mission too. So don't forget that you are also a walking, talking brochure. And I just wanted to call out Janie. Good job on using the videos to be the expert. So she wasn't posing herself as an expert, which I think is important when you're talking to the dentists and the doctors. You are not the expert here. You are just backed by a whole lot of experts. And if you use the tools like Janie did, then I think that also helps your credibility. So that's just what I wanted to add in.
I love that. Okay, anybody else? I'm going to just share my screen while you guys say any other comments or questions about.
I've got one.
Go ahead.
It's kind of interesting. So, yes, I wear a lot of hats, but veterinary world is my thing. And so it kind of came full circle. So I was sharing with my friend who's a vet and I work for her and that kind of stuff. And we were talking about it. And of course she was like, oh, really wish there was stuff on animals so I could give it to my clients. And I said, well, people do give it, but I can't promote that, blah, blah, blah. And so I handed her some samples and she turned around and started reading it. And of course, veterinarians are medical doctors. They just work on a lot of different species. And she stopped and she said, do you know what? And I said, no, her brother is being treated at MD Anderson for bladder cancer. And she said, MD Anderson gave Matt Juice Plus for his recovery.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And so she is getting on the process right now. But for her, me talking about it and trusting what I said, and then seeing that her brother, that MD Anderson gave it to him, and he has it sitting on his counter, and he's only 2 years older than us, Sharon. And so, and he's doing fabulous. She's like, okay, I'm in. let's go. And I was like, all right.
Wow. That's
so
awesome.
Yeah. So it kind of came all the way around, and she was like, I just wish I could tell people about it. And of course, it just opened up the door. She's not totally there yet, just because she's a private practice by herself in a very, very small town, a town of about, what, Jennifer? How many's in Garazozo? 1,000 maybe? And so, yeah, but she's like, I want to share with people. And I'm like, okay. Let me get you some information.
Sharon?
Yes.
So I would just like to add that my career has been in pharmaceutical sales, And I can tell you that the pharmaceuticals only have maybe 9 studies if they're really good. I mean, they can be launched with as little as 3 FDA approved studies. So I think that there's power when you mention the number. So as you visit with any provider that has ever prescribed any medication, you can have confidence knowing the volume of studies. But also one other key thing is that the Juice Plus studies are done on the actual product themselves, not ingredients that are found in the product. And that's very important. So it's very close to the studies that a pharmaceutical would have to be FDA approved. It has to be on the actual product itself. So just to add those key things from the doctor's mindset, that's going to speak to them in a different way.
I'm so glad you're on here, Holly. I'm like, is that Holly's voice? I had to unshare my screen. Yay, thank you for being on here. You know, it helps to hear from all the team because she's out talking to doctors every single day and, you know, talking about her job, you know, her pharmaceutical that she represents, but also she understands wellness, and whenever that doctor might be open, she can share with them. Great. And have you found that certain doctors are open, Holly, and certain ones?
Yeah. You know, sometimes if you ask questions, I mean, for me, I like to ask a lot of questions, like how often do you bring up nutrition? Do you coach your patients on nutrition? You know, do you see nutrition as a part of the healing process? You know, and you get a lot of different feedback. I don't have time for that. I let my nurse do that. I trust they do that on their own. Or then there's those that are, yeah, that's very important. I start with that. Here we are in a virtual world, and they're getting to see the inside of people's homes quite a bit more with telemedicine. So they're getting to see them eating right in front of them or drinking. I have a child psych that visits with me about, he'll see the little kid with, you know, a Dr. Pepper or a Pepsi in his hand, and he flips out. He's like, wow, you know, you can't be doing that. And he, you know, he goes off, and then he spends the whole appointment talking about nutrition. So there's definitely hot buttons for different people. And I would say that in general, a DO, a doctor of osteopathic medicine, may have just a general, a better toward the whole person. So seeing nutrition as a catalyst to make a change. So that may just be fundamental in their training, different than just an MD and a medical doctor. So that's a key difference that I've noticed.
All right, Darby, thank you, Holly.
Yes, going back, Kathy, or I think it was Kathy, talking about the vets, because my dog Annie, who weighs 85 pounds, had a blood tumor attached to her body cavity. And this was before I left New Mexico. And of course, we couldn't go into the vets at that particular time. I just had to drop her off. But the vet, when she talked to me via phone, because we couldn't go in to talk to her, she said Annie's blood work was perfect and they were looking for cancer. And so she did not have cancer. And Annie has, because of Gwen, she's been taking Juice Plus for over a year. Then when I came here, I have black carpet runners in my bedroom. And Annie, since she's half Husky and half Great Pyrenees, she was shedding unmercifully, and I could not get her into a groomer because there were so many people moving to this area. Dog groomers were booked for a year. So I finally got her into a groomer. She got a lot of that undercoat taken off. But in the meantime, on these black carpets, her hair, she was shedding hair, and there were thousands of little white spots on my carpet. And it took me a long time to realize that that was Annie's dander. It was a huge event on my carpet every day. So I increased her omegas, and now there's hardly any dander on the carpet. So just keep that in mind. But now you have to understand, Annie she's a big girl. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, maybe type in the chat how much you give to your dog. That would be great. Okay, so I think somebody mentioned Dr. Manfred Lamprecht. He's in charge of our clinical research. So just so you know, on thefreedomrevolution.com, there are these quick videos that are very interesting, especially for follow-up, you know, with medical professionals. I just had someone get on the Trio blend, And I sent the one with the diet and gene expression because I think it was Jimmy mentioned it on our One Simple Change the other night. So as a follow-up, I sent it to the people who were on that. And the medical professional really loved it, you know, and look, it's only 1 minute, 20 seconds. So use these as follow-ups for any conversations you might have because he is solid, Dr. Manfred Lamprecht, okay? And then I want to show you some tools for what you have on your own virtual office. If you're new, you may be using the, you know, myjuiceplus.com, juiceplus.com with your own name and all that. But don't forget you have a virtual office, okay? And under resources, you have a lot of different resources. So we have order forms, and then down here we have Wellness Plus materials, okay? So we can talk about Wellness Plus. Somebody mentioned, I think, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I forget who. I think I remember, but I'm not gonna name it. So somebody mentioned the doctors sometimes say I'm too busy, right? So if they do, that means they're too busy for a lot of things, but they're really not too busy to give a 30-second recommendation. All right. So if you want to be a wellness coordinator for somebody and be able to use that to attract some doctors to highly recommend Juice Plus, then you do the follow-up and you help build that doctor's business, then you would use the Wellness Plus materials, okay? So there's brochures, there's all different types of support. There's even an endorsement letter sample, which I think I have somewhere. Let me see, it's under the Word doc. And it's real simple, you know, and you can use it as an example for doctors. You can say, hey, I know you love Juice Plus and you want to recommend it. So this is just a sample one that's on your own virtual office, okay? Today I've provided you with information about Juice Plus Whole Food Nutrition. I've recommended it to you and your child as many studies have shown that it has important health benefits, including antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. It contains vegetable, fruit, and grain extracts from whole foods that work to support healthy immune, cardiovascular, and digestive systems, along with overall health benefits. My family and I take Juice Plus, very important that they mention that too, and have noticed significant health benefits. Juice Plus is not available in stores. You may obtain Juice Plus through my wellness coordinator. So that would be one of us. My wellness, unless they have somebody in their office that will help to do this. You would want to get with your sponsor or leader to help guide you and the doctor through this. My wellness coordinator is knowledgeable about Juice Plus, can answer your questions, will provide you with ongoing personalized support. In addition, they can inform you of a special program for which you and your family may be eligible with free Juice Plus to your good health. So that's a great letter. I didn't see any problems with that letter, you know? And then also on your virtual office under the same area, resources, everything you want to know about the Wellness Plus program, what every wellness coordinator wants to know. So it kind of guides you and you guys can access that through your virtual office. It takes you through this whole scenario, okay? So whether you have the doctor recommend it and somebody's in the office or whether it's somebody who's not in the office, that's the follow-up, okay? So let me go to another section here. Let's see, flyer options, no. I want to show you also the clinical research. See these different things that were mentioned? I mean, really it's the research. You have to be able to share something about the research with the doctor. So here's like the flip book, okay? Clinical Research Quick Reference Guide. You could get this off Juice Plus Promotions and it's an actual book, all right? Or you can share it as a brochure. There's ways in which you can do that, okay? And like Holly said, test it on the product itself. You know, there's a lot of products out there that might say there's research and you have to ask, is it on the actual product? Because a lot of times it might be a borrowed research study, like say it's on a certain berry, and they say therefore this particular product works. But they're borrowing research from the berry, not the product. Okay, so ours is tested on the product itself, very important. And then, you know, peer-reviewed, gold standard at these universities and medical centers. This is a beautiful brochure. And you can have a link to this, and it's really nice to look through that, all right? And then let's see if I can go back to, I have so many things open. There's lots of resources for you guys, okay? And it is a great program. All right, so here, let me go to my virtual office really quick. I don't think I'm signed in, no. If you go to quick links or resources, but I like to go to quick links, right here, personalized research summary. Okay, so Darby, you just did a booth, and a lot of people do booths, vendor booths. So you make your own research summary, and you say United States if you're in the United States, okay? And then look at that. That's my old juiceplus.com. It's wrong, so I'll correct this, and I'll say SharonFarrar.juiceplus.com, and I'll also, you can add your phone number, 954-579-4009, for those people who didn't know this is my Zoom line and my phone number. Okay, so here is the first page, and what I just typed in is down at the bottom. See this? Please visit SharonFarrar.juiceplus.com, and then I have my phone number too. So it's a back-to-back research summary. Like Janie said, it's good for the doctors not just to see the periodontal study, but to see that there's a whole vast variety, because maybe they want to see that it lowers inflammation. Maybe that doctor's all about reducing chronic systemic inflammation or helping the immune system. You know, they have families too. They're definitely concerned about that, right? So, you know, having this, which has everything outlined, is really good. This is the type of thing that I would bring to the doctor's office. It's very simple. You print it, you bring it with you. It's one exposure to the doctor, all right? So let's talk about these tools for a minute. Anybody have any questions or comments about those?
I do. I'm sorry. I'm still like really familiarizing myself with like our virtual office. Can you just like back up like a couple steps and just do that like one more time?
No problem. Okay. So go back to the virtual office. Let me go back to somewhere that I can recognize. Let's see. All right. I always hit this. That's the home button, basically. Juice Plus Virtual Office up in the top. And then I go to quick links. See that on the right? Okay. So then I love quick links to take new people there because it really has everything that's important for them, including, I think, Juice Plus Live is here. Editing your website, you want to make sure you do that right away because it comes up with that funky website and you can go right there. Submitting an order, submitting a family health study order or Healthy Starts for Family order, whatever you want to call it. Tower Garden, add new representative, personalized research summary. So you click that and then it has different options. So you click on USA and then it's going to pop up something. So you just change that something to whatever you want. And that's what's going to be on the second page. Nalani? Go ahead. Oh, hold on. We'll spotlight Nalani. I forgot about that. I'm so glad you're doing that. Okay. Show us your, what are we calling it? Your, I can't, dissolve rate, I guess. Yay. Thank you. Yes, and we hear about bedpan vitamins, you know, that's what Wendy Campbell talks about as a GI nurse. She would see bedpan vitamins. And so this is not a vitamin, of course, but it is really good to show that. And people can do that for their children too. I know one of my customers just asked about, you know, gummies for their child, but they have capsules at home. So I said, yes, your child can have the chewables or gummies, whatever you want to call them. You can also open your capsules. It's like, oh, I'm going to open my capsules. So that's perfect, you know, to know that we can tell them that. Any comments, Nalani?
Oh, no, it's still there. I'm sorry. That was just to remind you that we didn't, I can lower my hand now.
Oh.
She's asked, how does it taste? It tastes great to me, but I'm used to having stuff without sugar. So it's not sweet. It just tastes, you know, like fruit without the sugar.
I roomed with a gal at conference who wanted to get, you know, multiple types of Juice Plus in her diet every single day. And she really didn't want to swallow a bunch of capsules so that's what she would do. She would put the capsules in water and just drink it that way. And it really helped her arthritis because it was, you know, inflammatory. So
So I
worked out
think
good for her.
so did that take like 10 minutes maybe, Nalani?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. Okay. Any comments or questions? I know I didn't go over everything that exists about sharing with doctors. It's a number of exposures. Ask them questions, see where they're at. You know, you want to meet them where they're at, right? Go ahead, Sephora.
I'm not sure of the name of the lady who shared earlier about the pharmaceutics, and she begins the questions by asking like, how often do you bring up nutrition? How often do you coach on nutrition? But there was something
Amy.
else that she said. I didn't catch everything. I was asking, can you please repeat them?
That was Janie.
Janie.
No, I'm not the pharmaceutical.
was Holly.
No, not the
Holly?
pharmaceutical. Oh, that's right. It was Holly.
Go ahead, Holly.
Hi,
Okay.
Holly. Thank you.
Yeah, good questions to ask would be like, how often do you bring up nutrition with your patients? What role do you see nutrition playing in the healing process? You know, is nutrition something that you use with all your patients or just specific disorders? I mean, you just want to get them talking. I find that you learn more when they talk than when you talk. So if you can ask really anything, your questions don't have to be perfect. Just tell me what you say to patients about nutrition. You know, what is your nutrition focus? Kind of depends on the provider. But so, for example, I have an orthopedic surgeon who does surgery on feet. Well, if you're really overweight and obese and having a poor diet, then for one, you're going to have foot problems. For two, you're not going to heal properly from surgery. So nutrition is a big deal to him. So you want to find out how big of a deal is nutrition to the provider in whatever it is that they practice is kind of the take home message. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. 'Cause I was
Maybe
thinking
you
of
could-
questions to start the conversation.
Maybe you can even say on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, how important or how much do you emphasize nutrition with your patients? I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Holly?
That sounds real salesy. So I would
sorry.
say one.
Okay, don't say that. Holly
Don't say
knows
that.
best.
Say, how big of a deal is it? Just speak your language, whatever your language is, speak that, you know, or start with hey, you know what? My parents know nothing about nutrition. How do you bring up nutrition with your patients? For example, I might say that to someone.
Okay, thank you, Holly.
I have a
Great.
different
That's
question.
really important because that shows that you're looking for the expert to tell you. Like Sharon said, you're not the expert. It's like, well, I don't know anything, but what do you say about such and such? And they, for some reason, they really respond to something.
When
like
you have letters behind your name, you have an ego. I don't care what those letters are. There's an ego associated with them. So if you can, and I love them. I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. Egos are not always a bad
I
thing.
hope not, because I is one. No.
Right. But if you can play on that and get them to see you as someone seeking information, not trying to sell them information or push information, that will help open their minds, open their hearts to what you do have to say. So start your conversation with questions.
I do have a question for whoever. I don't know if Holly, you would know this or not, but so I'm going back to that same dental office because I wanted to share with his staff and he was okay with that. And so I'm going to bring them lunch in the next week. And I am not sure, what would you guys suggest to bring, share, whatever for the staff of a dental office? Any ideas?
They working moms, so something that has to do with kids. They
They're
might.
older. Yeah, their kids are all older, all the staff at his dental office. So that's a good question though.
Nursing videos. Don't we have some really good nurse videos? They're not, maybe they don't call themselves nurses, but just from that perspective.
Right.
samples, something they can take home. I always love getting
Right.
some.
Right. Yep. I do bring those and salad
you
and a jar. I wasn't gonna make it myself just because like the whole COVID thing, I was gonna bring in like a a prepackaged salad and that's individual servings, you know what I mean? So, because of COVID.
I'll
What was that?
save your lids, your capsule lids. So
Oh.
I put them together with fun tape. There's a green with red, but then they pop open, they're still capsule lids. So then it becomes a to-go thing. You can make to give them. So it's a fun little gift.
What Jennifer said here is really good. I've done this too, fruit and veggie trays with hummus even, and shake samples. And sometimes, when I used to do that, I would make the shake right there in front of them so they see how easy and simple it is.
Oh, that's
And trail mix,
You could also do, I was going to say to the fruit and veggie trays and hummus, you can bring in whole wheat pita wraps and they can just build a little veggie wrap to umph it up a little bit more. Fill their bellies with this shakes and smoothies.
Kelly.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I just, with the whole COVID thing, I'd already talked to the dentist about having their individual things so nobody would be touching everybody's stuff. So COVID kind of throws a kink on things a little bit with that. But I was just more curious, like what kind of presentation to do, or, I was going to bring in samples and then their lunch, but what to show them, what to speak to them about. Any thoughts on that, since it's kind of a little bigger group? I don't know if I should bring my laptop and show them a video or two, or what do you guys think?
I used to take my laptop every time and just show especially the research videos with Dr. Lamprecht. I mean, you can't go wrong with those. And do the presentation, the short version, just a little bit, depending on how much time you have. I used to do the presentation, just download it from the website and have that, and then right after it, a really short video while they're eating. By the way, is Regina still here? She had been asking if she could introduce her new partner.
Yes, Regina, go ahead and let me stop the recording.
Actually, Jasmine, she was